we're going to go over a Stoic problem here. This is mass, which as you can see involves many more steps than just a mole-mole combination. So the question we're looking at is number 1 on the mass problems. I wrote out the problem here. Basically, you're trying to figure out how many grams of silver chloride are produced from 5.0 grams of silver nitrate. And here's the balanced chemical equation. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to map out that dimensional analysis. Sometimes some of you like to do the parentheses with the fractions inside. It's the same thing. Okay? Whatever I want to know goes in the, whatever I know goes in the upper left-hand corner. So it says that I've got silver chloride produced from 5.0 grams of silver nitrate. So that's going to be my, I know this, 5.0 grams of silver nitrate. Okay. What I want to know is how many grams of AgCl are produced. So what I'm going to do is on AgNO3, I'm going to put, that's what I know, 2 AgNO3. And what I want to know is AgCl. So I'm going to put a question mark there. Okay. I know that I have 2 moles of silver nitrate, 1 mole of barium chloride, 2 moles of silver chloride, and 1 mole of barium nitrate. And that's what you should write up here, except I just don't have enough space and my marker's kind of thick. So you do need to write your mole ratios up at the top. So if I have grams of silver nitrate and I want to get 2 grams of silver chloride, I have to move through moles. There's no other way because I'm going to use this equation to help me move. So I'm going to look at silver nitrate and I'm going to say, okay, fine. If I have 1 mole of silver nitrate, how many grams is that? I don't know that off the top of my head. Maybe if I look at the periodic table, I know that, let's say, nitrogen is 14, and I know that oxygen is 16. Silver, I think it's like 106, something like that. But what I'm going to do in order to do this is off to the side, I'm going to have Ag, I have 1 of those. Nitrogen, I have 1 of those. Oxygen, I have 3 of those. And I'm going to multiply by whatever's on the periodic table. So the mass of 3 oxygens is 48, and the mass of 1 nitrogen is 14, and the mass of 1 silver, I need to look up because I don't have that written down. So here we go. Oh, looks like 108. Okay, so that equals 108 grams. So what I'm going to do is take those 3 numbers, add them up, and I should get 170 grams of AgNO3. Means I can now go here. I'm going to kind of move this off. That was just a little side thing. I can say 170 grams of AgNO3 is the same as 1 mole of AgNO3. Which means that if I have grams on top and grams on bottom, I can cancel them out, and I'm left with moles of AgNO3. I'm not done, however, because what I want to know is how many grams of AgCl. So actually, I'm not even near done. So I'm going to put a bar there. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to look. I'm going mole to mole, so moles of AgNO3. Looking at this equation, how many moles of AgNO3 are reacting? I find AgNO3 and I see that it's 2 moles. So I'm going to say I have 2 moles of AgNO3. And that is the same, in the same conversion here, or reaction, I'm going to see that I have 2 moles of AgCl. So you see how I used the equation to get these numbers right here. Okay. And then when I'm done, just like before, moles of AgNO3, I can cross those off. Now I've got moles of AgCl. I'm so close, except I don't want moles, I want grams of AgCl. So I'm going to drop another bar here, and I need to figure out a way to get from moles to grams. Now, I'm going to go to the periodic table. I'm going to say if I have 1 mole of silver chloride, then that is a certain number of grams. I have written down 142 grams. And the way I got that was I went to the periodic table and I said silver's 108, chloride's 35, so 13, end up with 143. I'm going to take that for right now because it's late and I want to get this video out. But I will correct that in the future. Okay, so if I have 143 grams, okay, moles of AgCl, I can get rid of them. So I have, when I get done, I've got 5.0 times 1 times 2 times 143 over 170 times 2 times 1 equals, my units are grams, because that's what I was going for. And when I do all the math, it should look like 4.1 grams of sodium chloride. Okay.